this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Get It Right Texoma with Trio, Mike Hendren, Terry McAdams, Trey Serrala. Nice to have you here. Again, I am Mike Hendren, and I'm in a hostile relationship with the economy right now.
That sounds like a 12-step program. Like that's a different meeting.
I feel like I should be in one at the moment. I really do. I'm sitting there just looking at some of the bills last night and going, wow, things really have gone off the damn rails in the last year, haven't they?
Boy, they've gone up like crazy, haven't they?
Man, it's like, every trip to the supermarket's a $200 adventure now, and you're there like 7 minutes and you're done.
Yeah, it is.
And you get the privilege of checking yourself out.
Oh
yeah, on top of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay more and you get less. Walmart used to be pay less, get more, but now it's you pay more, get less.
Exactly.
Because you actually get less service than you used to.
Well,
and I don't blame these companies that they're having to do this to cut costs to try to stay in business. I mean, the economy.
Well, and Sam's, we actually do use the app and check out. Don't have to go through the line. I mean, we actually like that. Now,
I don't ever go to any grocery store. I just go pick stuff up.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm just saying we go to Sam's though we get some things there, but when
I don't walk around. I just order it on there and go pick it up.
Oh, that okay. Well, you did that. Well,
I don't care about walking around grocery store. I'd rather walk around my property or walk around something other. Seriously, I'd rather be doing something else than walking around the grocery store.
See, I'm not a fan of I'm not a big shopper either. I like to go in, get what I need, and get out, and not spend a lot of time.
At Dollar Store, they made the Dollar General for me because if I'm going somewhere, I'm going to the Dollar General. If I need to just pick up like milk or something, I'm going to Braum's. I am not going to a grocery store. Nope, I'm gonna order the stuff, go pick it up, and be done.
Guys, here's the thing though: have you ever walked into a Dollar General that didn't have 18,000 boxes just scattered all over?
Every once in a while you do, but then some of you have. The worst Dollar General I was ever in was in Phoenix. I got hit up for money 2 times before I got in the door. Yeah. There were homeless people everywhere.
Let me say this. I don't know that I ever have stepped foot inside of a dollar or whatever.
Really?
No.
Really?
I don't. I've just, nope. That just never been in them. Yeah. Nope. Have don't know what they are.
The convenience was what it is for me. It's convenience.
I don't know what they have.
They're
they got everything that Walmart does on a smaller scale.
They do. I mean,
but you get in and get out.
I do like Braum's. I do like walking into those.
That's what I'm saying. You just go grab some milk or cheese.
Yeah, and their milk is actually very reasonably priced.
Well, look, I don't even care about the price because it's not. It's pennies. I mean, you might save 37 cents going to Walmart or something over going to buy
milk. I don't go to Walmart either. So.
Well, or whatever, or any grocery store.
Well, you might $4 or $5 at probably at.
You might save 37 cents going to a grocery store over Braum's.
Yeah.
What is your time worth?
Yeah.
My time's worth a lot to me. Yeah. So it's a time thing. And their milk is good, though. Their products are good.
But it's more convenient to go in and out of Braum's, though.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so convenient, and it happens to be the price.
Yes.
There's a bunch of people that are getting a bill for this, don't you?
No. What I'm saying is you probably save money at a grocery store over Braum's, but the convenience is worth it to me.
Actually, I think, that may be.
It might be.
I know the milk isn't. I've
never price shopped, but I'm just simply saying convenience means a lot to me.
Oh, and they have ice cream.
Because my time is. Yeah.
I love ice cream.
By the way, we've not mentioned our new table.
Oh yeah.
If you've noticed over the last, I think we started 2 weeks ago. It was Austin Cobb. Austin Cobb was our first guest. So we redesigned our table.
Yeah.
And so we redesigned our table a little bit to just accommodate people better. Yeah. Used to Mike and I would look at each other and Terry would be like this and all that. So we all can kind of see each other a little bit. And then when we get a guest in, we have plenty of room. We're not stuck in here like this.
Yeah. It's not as intimate as it used to be.
No. It's a lot better though.
I miss the intimacy.
Yeah. I just need a hug.
That's only kidding. See ya. Anyway,
is anything going on in Texoma?
There's a few things. By the way, the podcast brought to you by Eddie Hills Fun Cycles at 401 North Scott in downtown Wichita Falls, Texas. Since 1966, EddieHillsFunCycles.com. MacTech Solutions at 4020 Ray Road, Suite 3B. MacTech-Solutions.com. We are in the MacTech Solutions podcast studios. And also, Lolly and Pop Sweet Shop. I'll get it out right in a minute. lpsweet.com, the website, and on Facebook, Lolly and Pop Sweet Shop.
And if you want to come shoot something here, we can hook you up.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, if you want to produce a little something, we've got facilities here available, and we ain't cheap, but we can be bought.
Videos, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
So we can do that.
At some point, we need to do my road trip.
Yes, we do.
Do the road trip
And
podcast.
maybe we should do your jingle. We can. I bet you ChatGPT. I bet we could
write him a new jingle.
And I'm gonna.
Who's gonna perform it?
We can do it. We can rap it. There you go. We can rap it. I'm serious. We gotta try that. Yeah.
We're white guys. We take no crap and we deliver our white rap. I like your shirt. I like your tie. I like your wife. Just kidding, guy. You're a white guy. Yes, I am.
Improv over here. That's that improv training. All right. See.
All right.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
A bunch of middle-aged white guys.
Oh.
By the way, this is just. I want to ask you guys a question. I was in an event. Well, it was our chili cook-off. And actually, you guys were standing there. Do you remember when I referred to two women? Who they told me later were in their 60s as middle-aged, and they got offended. What is middle-aged? I mean, I thought middle-aged women, and I thought they were in their 50s, and I believe they were both in their 60s. And why would you get offended if you're in your 60s and somebody calls you middle-aged?
I don't know.
As opposed to old.
I don't know.
I'm serious. I mean, and I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. I think we're middle. In my opinion, we're middle-aged. Mike and I are 52.
Yeah.
And you're 58, 56?
Yeah, 58.
Okay, so the fact of the matter is, chances are none of us are going to live over 100 years old.
Probably not.
That's a good chance. And you would have to be 116.
Yeah.
And we would have to be 104. So there's a good chance that none of us are going to live. So that is, by definition, middle age.
Yeah.
And actually, we're towards the, by the actuary tables, we're a little past the middle of middle age.
Yeah.
So, anyhow.
No, I got you. Well, but I think people are sensitive to things, and there's a connotation, and it's just we've heard over and over many, many times in society that middle-aged it has a negative slants towards negative. Now, some people
I don't see it that way.
I know, but
because
I'm just saying
old means are elder or older or something. But I believe people in their 60s are their middle age.
Yeah.
I mean, they're past the middle of the middle age, but they're still in their middle age.
Yeah. Well,
when we were young, a 60-year-old person was an old person.
I was going to say the 60-year-olds of today do not look or behave the way 60-year-olds did when we were teenagers. I mean, when I was 13, 14 years old, many of my aunts and uncles were in their, late 40s and early 50s by that point.
Mike does have an unusual situation. Your mother was quite a bit older than the average mom.
Yeah, she was 71. No, she was not that old. She gave birth to me. She was 35. Mom was 35. Dad was 48.
Yeah, but 35 years old in 1971, giving birth was very unusual.
Yeah. My biological father would be, he'd be 100 years old if he were alive today.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So yours was a little, but you're right. I think it's late 70s. People in their, I would say early 60s are more like their early 70s early 70s or more like what early 60s were at our time. Maybe at least 10 years, maybe a decade and a half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah, it's a different time. So I don't know why people get offended by that. I wouldn't. I didn't think I was being offensive at all.
No.
Well, I had a
I was like, I didn't find it offensive.
I was buying a bottle of wine for a party once 3 or 4 years ago, and the young lady at the store asked me for my ID. I could have kissed her.
Yeah.
I said, "Thank you so much."
And then he went ahead and did, and then the police showed up, and it was a whole thing.
It got awkward at that point. Yeah. But no, I mean, seriously, you think I look young enough that you need to card me? I love you.
Yep.
So anyway, all right, where are we going here? Okay.
Horned lizard.
Okay. On May 31, from 6:30 to 8:30, you can explore the Texas horned lizard.
Or horned frog.
Horny toad.
Horny toad.
No, horny toad is what we always called them growing up.
Be careful around those horny toads.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, and they'll shoot blood at you, and
they shot blood out of their eyes. Yeah, that was crazy.
We used to play with them, man. They used to be in numbers,
everywhere.
But now you can't find them.
I dated a girl once who could shoot blood out of her eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard it.
Actually, it was fire, but that was another story.
And you'll learn more about this, I'm sure, at this. But if I'm thinking right, it's something about red ants, and then and then they used to eat ants, and there's not as many red ants, or
they eat red ants.
But it's those damn fire ants, that are taking over.
Guys, I'm telling you, fire ants change the ecology.
Oh yeah.
Fire ants and feral and hogs are the two invasive species that will go into a place and change the ecology.
Yeah.
Because what you think about is you go, oh, just why a fire ant? Well, because they eat the red ants, and then the horned toads run off, and then this runs off, and then the birds, and so it's everything. It's the way the ecology works. This food source goes away, so then that food source can't. The larger animal can't survive, and it goes away. And hogs and red and fire ants do that. They change the ecology in an area.
Gosh, you're a conservative. You can't talk that way. That's what they say.
Yeah.
We don't care about the environment.
Well, this is all going to happen at Riverbend Nature Center.
Yep.
Right.
That's where it's going to take place. It's $25 per person, or if you're a Riverbend Nature Center member, it's $20. And
I'm probably going to go to this event. This is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in somebody who's a specialist.
Yep.
So it's not going to be Jenica, even though Jenica knows a lot, but it's not just going to be Jenica
Right.
Lambert up there. They're bringing in a horned lizard specialist. I just always thought, you guys, let's be honest. Do you remember the time when you were a kid, when you first found out what the word horny was, and everybody thought it was funny because we had horny toads?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A bunch of dumb boys going hee.
Yeah.
The other word for horny.
Yeah, and we've got Jenica coming in from she's the executive director now.
Yeah, she's going to come in.
And she'll be coming in July.
Yes.
So but in the meantime, go to this.
Yep.
She may be a horny toad expert. I don't know.
She knows a lot about all the critters they have.
Yeah. So,
degree in biology and whatever else that she got from.
You talk about something that's changed the ecology, though. In Florida, the pythons that are now breeding in the wild out there, and they are destroying all of the native species because they're consuming all of the squirrels and all of the moles and all of the
some of those are
raccoons. And, I mean, I think they're actually
alligators eat the. Snakes,
they because there's fewer alligators. The snakes procreate more.
Right.
I don't know. I'm guessing. I've always heard that. I don't know how many babies alligators usually have, or how many the snakes have. But I've heard the snakes are pretty prolific. Those pythons. I
do think the state of Florida is actually still right now paying a bounty on those snakes.
Oh yeah.
For people to go out and hunt them because and.
You have to do that.
I watch these shows where they catch these things and they're handling them. I'm like, shoot them, man.
That's my theory. Kill them. But that happens, and even happens in certain parts of the country that they'll have Mustangs. People have to go out and hunt Mustangs. People have to go out and hunt deer. It's part of the conservatory of the ecology, because if you get a population that's a species that overpopulates an area, it can cause problems.
Right. Yep.
And that's why there's an issue, and I believe it's in either Oregon or Washington State. They're reintroducing wolves, and people are going, you're gonna decimate the population of certain things. Wolves are ravenous hunters, and they breed prolifically.
Yep.
And when you start reintroducing stuff, you have to be careful the way you manage that.
Yeah.
Why are we so determined to try to reinvigorate or bring back species? I saw this thing where they're actually, I guess they found some like woolly mammoth DNA that they're able to replicate, and they're going to try to bring back the woolly. Okay,
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, there's a.
Did anyone actually see Jurassic Park?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
didn't work out well.
Once those show up, there's no way I'm getting in a porta potty.
Exactly. All I'm saying is, hello, people, pay attention.
Now that was crazy. The Jurassic Park, when people were taking their kids, and then the people had to go. This isn't Barney.
Exactly.
Because Barney was kind of popular at that time. And people, it's a dinosaur movie. It's like, this isn't a purple dinosaur that goes, I love you.
No.
Yeah.
This is a dinosaur that goes, chomp, and you're gone. That's it.
Yeah.
Camp Riverbend. Camps are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to noon. Campus for ages 4 to 11. Again, this is Riverbend Nature Center. $100 for members, $110 for non-members per child per camp through June and July.
And you go on their Riverbend Nature Center, Google search them, and they have all different camps. So it's one of those, like this week will be this camp and this week will be that camp. So, it's just stuff. And then in another one, we'll talk about some other day camps and stuff like that on the next show. But get your kids into something. Please don't let your kids just sit at the house and play video games all summer. Get them outside. Get them to a day camp or something like that.
I did YMCA summer camp, man, and that was, I just remember it now. I must admit, I probably fell in love with some of the girls that were camp
counselors.
The counselors.
Yeah.
They were, and they might have even worn a bikini here and there.
Yeah.
As I remember. I don't know, but,
That's okay to fall in love as long as you do it from a distance.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. So, but it's one of those deals, these day camps.
Now he tells me.
Yeah. That's another one of those police incidents, right, that we don't want to talk about.
It's awkward, so awkward.
Okay, all right.
Where are we going next here? Let's see here.
Local government.
You can watch the Wichita Falls City Council, the Wichita Falls ISD School Board, Wichita and Clay County Commissioners Courts. All of these government meetings are live streamed online, so you can watch them, and you can watch them at your convenience.
That's right.
They're all archived. You have to watch them live. Right. They're all archived.
You can watch them live, or you can skip to the section that you're interested in. So if you watch the replay, but I guess the whole point on this is get involved.
Yeah.
Find out what's going on. If you have a question, don't just hope that somebody tells you. Don't go on the internet and see what somebody had to say about it. Or if you see something and you go, that sounds weird, go watch the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. And better even go. Actually show up.
Well, it's great if you can.
No, but it's a lot of time.
And it's usually during the day, and it's all that sort of stuff.
Well, here's something.
The school board, by the way, is not. Wichita Falls School Board, the Wichita Falls ISD, though they have a work session during the day, but their evening meetings are at 6 o'clock on Mondays.
Right.
So most people could go to those.
Should be a little more convenient.
Well, there's a website you need to go look at. It's called Citizen Portal. I'm trying to remember, see if the full URL is on here. But what's cool about it is you can register on this portal, on this website, and actually get notified of your local meetings, and it will link you to the video. And they actually, through AI, they're able to index and have the entire meeting searchable.
Is it through AI? So is there a slant on it, as opposed to is it really doing the whole thing? Whereas if you go to like WichitaCounty.gov, you could go look at the exact meeting.
Right, it links to it, but I'm saying that they create.
Does it link to their exact video though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh no, it's just
I'm just making
uses
sure.
the AI for the transcript and stuff, and then it indexes it and it makes it searchable, and you can put things that you're important. That's important to you.
What would AI do for Joe Biden transcripts? That's a whole different thing.
I don't know, but yeah, it's called Citizen Portal.
Well, he had the White House put out 9 corrections at the NAACP, which he called it the NAAC, and also the erectionists. In January 6th, the erectionists.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, don't let him around a horny toad.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good
So
comment,
anyway,
Mike.
just let me put a button on this real quick. But if you go to citizenportal.ai, they offer searchable content. They have 500,000 hours up to this point of searchable video content. So if you want to look for a particular topic, they've got a portal GPT, which basically you can search and ask questions about it. And then interactive transcripts and custom alerts that you can set up when you register with them. And it is as far as I understand, is a nonprofit type of thing. And so just look at it, read up on it. Don't just take my word on it, but just check it out. So citizenportal.ai, I think this is kind of cool.
I think it's great. And it goes back to what I've been saying this for a long time, and we talked about this on the show. Your local government has more effect on your day-to-day life
Yes.
than the President of the United States does.
Yep.
Or the senator or whatever. I mean, there are some big things. The border is a big thing for everybody, and that doesn't happen at your local government. So there are a few items, but so many things to do with your day-to-day life. In fact, we're going to talk about one in a few minutes here. That are directly affect your day-to-day have to do with that, including your taxes. This is what blows my mind, and being on the school board, how I ran unopposed every term. Okay? Now, that was easy for me because I didn't have an opposition, and I like to think it was because everybody thought it was so damn good. No, it's because people didn't want to be bothered. And I get it. It's a pain in the ass. It is. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But it is a pain in the ass. It costs you money. Because you have to be away from your business or your job or whatever. And you couldn't work at the factory and do it. You couldn't work out there. You couldn't get the time off and stuff like that. There's a lot to it. But when it comes to it, that is your biggest tax bill. Your is your property tax rate. And if you look and see what the highest part of your property tax is, it's the school tax. And you don't care who's on the school board setting that school tax? I do.
Well, you should. I mean, everybody should. Everybody complains about it. But very few people do anything about it, and very few people get involved in the process of being able to do anything.
That's the thing. You don't have to be there. You don't have to run for it. You can be involved with somebody.
Well, sure. And you have opportunities to speak and make a point and all of that. And then, but the other thing is that maybe the more you know about it, the things you understand, even if you don't have kids in the school. I don't have kids. Haven't had kids. And yet I see the importance of a good school district.
Of course, yeah.
And so that actually helps overall, and it gets all in balance, right? I mean, it's not about doing this just because Frisco can do it doesn't mean we should do it. But I tell you, pay attention and just get involved in. And this is one way, like I said, the Citizen Portal, whatever. And they do have the Wichita Falls ISD videos on here as well. So check it out.
But they don't have Wichita County or Wichita Falls?
No, they have Wichita Falls too. Okay. No, I hadn't looked at the Wichita.
Archer County does not live stream. I checked with Wade Scarborough yesterday when I was kind of coming up with this. I checked with him. He said they don't live stream.
Right.
But I know Clay County Commissioners Court does. Wichita County Commissioners Court does. And then Wichita Falls ISD. Burke Burnett ISD may. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure about.
I'm not sure if the ISD does or not. But I'll tell you this, though. I think we're very rapidly moving toward a point where it may ultimately become a legal requirement.
I think it should be.
That all governmental bodies that hold public meetings live stream or at least record and make available after the fact the meetings so that people who cannot or otherwise will not be there live to see it happen, can get access to the information. Yeah. I think we're getting close to that.
I think, I'm with you on that. I think there should be some caveats. I think there are some towns that are so small that their budgets would be expensive to do.
Chillicothe probably doesn't need to be required to do that.
I don't know that Petrolia needs to. There comes a point.
It's not expensive. The cost of it these days is so low that it's not. I don't think it's a significant thing. And as far as educating the customer, but
I don't disagree with you. I'm not saying I would draw a line in the sand there, but I am saying I think that there are certain entities that maybe are so small that you don't. Maybe if it's over a certain amount of people in the town or something like that.
What hampers?
But the point is, even like you real quick. I'm sorry. The point is, what you said was because live streaming costs money. I was on the WFISD when we went to live streaming, and there's a cost to it and all. Sure. But having somebody record the meeting just on a county owned or a city owned handheld camcorder and then uploading that video. Unedited, just upload the video directly to the web everybody's got a website.
Right. Yeah.
So that I could see doing that. So you could live stream if you're over a certain size, and if you're under a certain size, you provide the video and it must be available the next business day.
And I can't see where for some communities it would be a financial burden because you do have some communities, and I don't mean to be picking on small towns here, but Chillicothe, whatever, but they're Petrolia or whoever. But there are some communities that are so small, their tax base is so small.
Yeah.
They don't have money to play with. I mean, you're spending everything you're bringing in.
Godibo would be hard to live stream.
Guaranteed. Somebody has.
Well, the 11 people there would,
but
stream. Hang on though. You can't expect people to use their personal stuff on city or government thing. It would have to be guaranteed. There would have to be some some sort of funds, and you would have to pay somebody to upload it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it would be a cost, not a huge cost. And maybe I'm with you, Terry.
Yeah.
It's you have to invest in a camcorder or a camera or something.
Yeah.
Something that you because telling somebody they have to hold their phone up for 2 hours is not
but
right.
remember.
There's going to be a minor expense.
A minor expense, and then it'll be some city official or some paid city employee at some point goes, okay, now your job is you have to upload this website, which won't take long,
Right.
and do it by the next business day.
Well, you remember how
We beat that dead horse to death.
well, back in the early days of the old Andy Griffith show from the early '60s, and they used to there was a little bit of fun poked at the fact that Sheriff Andy was the sheriff, and he was the justice of the peace, and he was this, and you wore all these hats. You still have communities all around the country that are so small that one person really does wear that many hats.
Isn't there a county in Texas that's like less than 200 people? I believe that's right. We could Terry can Google search.
Deaf Smith County?
Yeah, I don't remember what county it is, but there is. I believe there's a county. It's a very low number of people, and because I thought it was so ironic. Okay, well, you have to have a county judge by law. You have to have a sheriff by law.
Yeah.
You have to have a commissioner's court by law.
Yeah.
And so now you have to have a school board if you have a school in that county, which you're going to have a school in that county. You have to have a school board by law. So, but you get all these times here, Loving County, 64 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
So think about it.
So
you've got there's 15 people that are serving in the required city government capacity. So
everybody probably serves at some point.
They just rotate. Every once in a while,
Your turn.
Your turn.
They don't even have an election. They just keep passing around the title.
And they couldn't have term limits.
No. Loving
or
County,
at least
if I remember correctly, I think Loving County is far, far, far west Texas.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, right it's on the
almost to the corner of the Mexico New Mexico
border.
Corner.
Yeah, right where Texas comes down and makes the not the Big Bend, where it makes the 90-degree.
If
Loving County's right there.
If Texas had an armpit, Loving County would be right in the middle of it.
Okay, let's move on here.
All right, the Wichita Falls ISD class of 2024 top scholars have been celebrated. These are the last graduating seniors from Wichita Falls High School, Ryder High School, Hershey High School.
Yep.
And they were recognized for being in the top 10% of their class. Graduations start, today, the day that we're recording.
Yeah. So you probably if you don't know the old Hershey's, you missed it. Because this won't come out more.
I did see something in the last day or two about they've had at this point they've already had the closing ceremony for Kirby Junior High School.
Right. They had Hershey and Old High and Ryder last week. I think.
Yes. So the old for those of you that live in the local area, Kirby Junior High School that sits on Loop 11, right across from what used to be a beautiful golf course before it was shut down.
Yep.
They're decommissioning that, I guess, basically.
Yeah.
All of those students will shift over to what will now be Hershey Junior High School.
Yes, that's correct.
And that property, I'm assuming the ISD is probably going to sell off that Kirby property.
If Trey was in charge, that's where the administration building would go.
You think so? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It would make a great location.
The administration building in Wichita Falls is the oldest building in the Wichita Falls ISD.
And probably getting a little cramped.
I believe it was the original Wichita Falls High School.
It was,
and I think it was Hardin College.
It was Reagan Junior High School.
Yeah, but before that, I believe it served as one of the original Wichita Falls High School buildings at one time.
Probably did, but I remember
there's a historic thing, and it's been a long time since I've read it. But
the reason I even know Reagan was there is I had family who attended school there.
Yeah, Reagan
back in the 1920s and 30s.
It's an old school, and Kirby's much bigger. But
much bigger, yeah.
They'll do what they'll do. It doesn't matter to me. It says the top 10%, but unless that's changed, I believe it's the top 10. Because we used to have what's called the Scholars Breakfast. I think they had a reception instead of a breakfast. But every year when I was on the board, it was called it the Scholars Breakfast, and it was any national merit scholars and the top 10 of each school. Number one. Okay. Yeah, number 1 through 10 in their class.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was kind of cool because all 3 of my kids actually attended that deal. So it was neat.
Yeah. Your kids were in the top 10?
Yes.
Wow. I wonder how that happened.
My youngest daughter was 3, and she was 3rd in her class. I'm sorry, she was salutatorian. She missed valedictorian by a very short. She was salutatorian in her class. Wow. Now, to be fair, she was only salutatorian because the salutatorian quit school to go to MIT. The salutatorian is one guy, the kid we talked about earlier.
Wow. And to think I got out of high school.
Who quit high school literally to go to MIT.
Right. Yeah. And MIT's weird. They don't have any specific requirements. It's sort of this. It's just now you got to be smart and you got to have but they don't have like there's no you check off these boxes and then you can go.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's put it this way, like I said, he quit high school to go to MIT, and Harvard called him saying, "Hey, we still want to." I'm already going to MIT. Yeah. Then he quit MIT, so this guy has. Yeah. I don't think he has a college degree or a high school diploma, but he is doing very well.
A lot of well-known. I mean, Microsoft with Bill Gates, Steve Jobs,
they all dropped
and all these guys. Yeah. So
I guess we're out of time. Do we need to go ahead and just move to and just
go on to our next?
Cut it off and then go to the next
we'll do another episode here coming up, and we've got a big topic we're going to cover in the next episode. We're going to talk a little bit about WADA. And this is a big topic in this part of the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. It's a huge topic here. And we've got a lot to say about that coming up in the next episode of Get It Right, Texoma. Thank you for tuning in for this one. Again, brought to you by Eddie Hills Fun Cycles at 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls, Texas, EddieHillsFunCycles.com, MacTech Solutions, 4020 Ray Road in Wichita Falls, MacTech-Solutions.com, and Lolly and Pop Sweet Shop, LPSweet.com, and on Facebook as well. Until next time, folks, y'all take care. We'll see you shortly.